This is the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast with Nick Cavins.
Hey everybody, welcome into a new edition of the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast, brought to you by Athletic Greens, that has 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. So we finished day 6 of camp today. It was the second padded practice of camp. And as you guys know, the first day was challenging, to say the least. So the question of the day is, was it better on day 2? Because you could say, oh, it's just the first day in pads. And I think even Bill referenced that this morning. Was it better? Yes. Was it a great deal of improvement? Something that to generate optimism? The answer to that would be no. It was pretty bad. Again, it wasn't quite the abject failure that it was on day 1, but this was pretty bad. To give you an idea, the first team offense ran 26 plays over 4 different periods in 11 on 11s. They had what you would term a successful play, gaining anywhere from 4 yards to 10 yards through 2 days, and in the red zone practices before that. You would wonder if the Patriots are ever going to throw the ball downfield. Obviously, they are. It's a joke. Relax. But certainly the offense is vertically challenged so far. But obviously, the run game is the emphasis here. And of the 26 plays, I counted 8 plays that were successful. That would be about 30% of the plays. That meant 70% of the plays that they ran, the first team offense, sometimes against the third team defense, were unsuccessful. And those plays broke down as a stuffed run, 2 yards or less, 8 sacks / a lot of pressure, 6, 1 incomplete pass, 1 batted pass at the line. That was on the very first play, 1s versus 1, 11 on 11. It happened so fast, and it was such an ugly play that I said to somebody next to me, I was like, what happened on that play? 1 drop by Damian Harris and 1 little teeny check down. So that is the breakdown. It's not good. So I'm sure you're wondering, listening to this podcast, like what's the issue? Why is it not working? And it's the blocking, and it's the run blocking specifically. And some of the pass blocking is an offshoot because you're doing the same techniques and blah, blah, blah. Because when the Patriots offensive linemen pass block in training camp, the first 2 days they've gone through one-on-ones. Today there were 2 sessions of one-on-ones, and they won handily. The offensive line won handily again. 25 wins, 12 losses, 7 draws. They won similarly the day before. So we know these guys can pass block, all of them. But this new run blocking scheme, they're having issues with it. It takes to get this down. It takes a lot of reps. It takes a lot of precision. The footwork has to be on point. I've sat and watched film with zone running scheme coaches before, and it's like music when you watch it and it's the right way. Everybody's moving the same way. Everybody has the same aiming points and angles and things like that. It's a beautiful thing when it works well. When it doesn't work well, it's a train wreck. And that's basically where the Patriots are right now on offense. And I don't know how they get their way out of it. I mean, you can rep it all you want. I don't think it's helping that Matt Patricia, who is the offensive line coach, isn't with the offensive line for basically half the practice because he has to call plays and do other things. I don't think that's wise. Again, it's still early. I'm not ready to shelve it completely, but I think if it doesn't get better in the next 2 days, so that's Wednesday's practice, Thursday practice is kind of the last real practice of the week. Then they had the end stadium little, do your kicks, get lined up stuff that I don't even know whether I'll go to, because it's really legitimately nothing happens in that practice except the season ticket holders and Foxborough residents get some autographs. So I think if they don't start to see more improvement, then I think they have to look at next week, maybe going back to their bread and butter. Will they do that? I don't know. We'll talk about that a little bit more after I tell you about AG1 from Athletic Greens. I started taking AG1 because I had read on Twitter, one of the Packers players that I used to cover asked, what's the nutritional supplement that you use now that you wish you used when you were younger? And all these people kept saying Athletic Greens. I'm like, Athletic Greens, what the heck is this? I've never heard of Athletic Greens. So I looked it up. I started reading the reviews, 7,000 5-star review. People are rating. It's the truth. It's great. I've been taking it for 3 weeks now. Love it. Part of my routine in the morning, first thing. They say to take it with an empty stomach. That's the way to get the vitamins absorbed as soon as possible. I love it. So what's in this stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source ingredients, probiotics, adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all the things you need. As I said, I do it first thing in the morning. I really love how it's lifestyle friendly with my diet, would be with your diet, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, contains less than 1 gram of sugar, which I love. That's important because I'm watching what I'm eating. I'm telling you, you should give it a try. And right now is the time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Brought them on our little vacation a few weeks ago. Perfect. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Bedard. That's BEDARD. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/Bedard to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. And when you get your order, make sure you send me a picture on Twitter. Love to see that stuff. Okay, so back to the Patriots. So an offshoot of this, they're obviously struggling. We heard from Mac Jones today. You could make the case that Mac Jones is starting to get not starting. In fact, I know that he has been frustrated and he continues to be frustrated. That was part of his deal on Saturday, where he sort of stormed off the field. When he talked with us today, he looked miserable for howdy doody Mac Jones, and I think it came out in some of his comments. I mean, the first question off the bat was, where are you guys at two days into padded practice? And he said, yeah, I think we have a lot of room to grow here. And this is unprompted. He said, the goal for me is not to run the ball and throw it. So I think our offensive line is doing a good job, and we just have to get on the same page. So you could tell he wasn't even asked about hey, you're scrambling around a lot. He just came out and he's like, yeah, the goal is for me not to run the ball because I'm running for my life because no one can block. Of course, he's not going to say that, but, I'm going to say it for him. Do you feel comfortable with what they are asking you to run schematically and some of the tweaks they are making? Yeah, I think we're all just trying to learn and figure it out and just move along here. And at the end of the day, it's the players' job to execute the plays that the coaches want. They've done a good job of explaining each play, and our job is to go out there and execute it. Translation, we can't execute these plays. So either we have to change or the coaches have to change. There was a lot of that. I think that I know that there are players on this team that are frustrated. And the thing you worry about with this offense is it's fine. Sometimes players have no idea what's good for them. It's why Bill Belichick gets paid a ton of money. It's why he's won 6 Super Bowl titles. It's why the Patriots have been competitive for 20 plus years. Because a really good coach knows what his team needs, even if the players in front of them can't see it. And I think Bill, I know Bill knows what this team needs. But you do have to start to worry. There comes a point in time, and I think it's coming up here soon. If it's not the end of this week, after Thursday's practice, and I think they'll probably take a couple days off, Saturday and Sunday, at least Saturday, and then get back to it. Do they have a preseason game a week from Thursday? I think they do. So, still plenty of time to do stuff and rectify things. But I think if the Patriots, the fear is, and the worry is, if they don't start having more on-field success with the offense, then you could start to lose players. They could start to be disillusioned, and nothing good comes from that. So the offensive line still the offense in general, still a huge concern. Let's see, what else from the practice? I did want to point out Cole Strange. We talked about him the other day. His first padded practice was not good. He kind of got pushed around a little bit, especially in one-on-ones, a little too aggressive. I watched him in the zone blocking, sort of one-on-one run blocking drill. I thought he was much more under control today, much less aggressive. Looks like he's taking the coaching well. I thought he did much better in his one-on-ones. I had him as 2-0-1. I thought he did a really good job. Now, his 2 wins came against Lawrence Guy and Daniel Ekawale. So while we're not talking about elite pass rushers or even guys who are on the field to rush the passer, 2 big, powerful guys that's the question on Cole Strange. Can he do that? By the way, while we're on the one-on-ones, Yadni Kajus and Justin Herron, both 4-0. Herron actually had another draw. So those guys are battling it out sort of for, right tackle if Isaiah Wynn should become tradable. I will say Isaiah Wynn's done a great job so far in camp. I have no issues with him to this point. Looking at guys who struggled. Wynn was 1-2 today. Michael Wenning was 1-2 today. Cody Rusey, the undrafted free agent center, he was 0-2-1, and his 2 losses were decisive. They were kind of ugly. On the defensive side, great for the young guys. Christian Barmore, 3-1 with a decisive win. Josh Uche, 3-1. Guys who struggled. Actually, I'm going to leave that for BostonSportsJournal.com members. I have all the numbers on there. Later in the week, I'll start compiling them more so we can see if there's any takeaways that we can have from that. Like I said, offensive line won 25, 12, and 7. I'm trying to think what else stood out in practice today. The offense was just so bad. I will say, Bailey Zappe, you could argue he's better than Mac Jones in this practice, for sure. I thought he was really good. His stats, I had Mac Jones at 5 of 10 with 5 sacks pressures, and Bailey Zappe was 9 of 13 with a sack. I thought he did a really nice job. I thought Tyquan Thornton is really stacking successful days. He keeps getting a little bit better every day, which is what you want to see with young guys. And, whoever the hell LeBrian Ray is, undrafted free agent from Alabama, interior guy, weighs about 290, sort of inside outside. Could be the next Adam Butler. I think I mentioned that the other day. He shows up all the time. Whether it's one-on-one pass rush drills or 11-on-11, he's always around the ball. I've been wondering who the third down back is going to be because James White has been out. J.J. Taylor has not done much. He got his ass blown up by Mac Wilson today, who's put back-to-back hard hits last 2 days. And, Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris have been catching. Pierre Strong's been okay. Nothing. He hasn't really stood out yet. Still waiting for that to happen. But Ty Montgomery has been in the backfield a lot. So I think, in my mind, he's the favorite to be the third down back right now. Devin Asiasi had a nice job, and even Belichick talked him up today. I think that Jalen Mills continues to be the best cornerback on this team, and I don't mind saying it, and I'm not ashamed to say it, and I don't think that's a problem that he is. I think he's been really good. I think he's really come on. Mitchell and Jonathan Jones were the other cornerbacks out with the first group. The usual suspects were in group 2, Malcolm Butler and the Jones boys. One thing I did find interesting, and I've noticed this the past couple of days. The Patriots will swap out a bunch of guys on the offensive line, like the whole right side, whether it's Wynn and Owenu, sometimes and Andrews, because he actually hasn't taken a ton of reps so far. And even they replaced Cole Strange, not as much, but Trent Brown's out there a lot with a lot of guys who aren't the starters on the team. I have no idea what to make of that. I do find it interesting. Probably people are interested in my opinion on the Dolphins tampering allegations. I mean, they came down moderately hard on them. First and a third, I think, as far as draft pick. Tampering with Tom Brady. My reaction to it is I'm not surprised. As far as I know, there aren't any on the book rules about players tampering with teams. The league's tampering rules really have to do with member clubs, the teams, their executives, their coaches tampering with members of other member clubs. And, I don't know specifically how much Brady communicated with him. I assume a lot of it was Don Yee, his agent, but that's why you pay agents, so that there's plausible deniability. Oh, you talked to the agent. Well, you didn't talk to the player. It's still the same sort of thing. And that Tom Brady was flirting with the Dolphins while he was on the Patriots. Am I surprised by that? A little bit. I mean, it just seems with every passing year. And look, I respect Tom Brady enormously, especially for what he did here with the Patriots. And he's the type of guy, I've said it before, that, you take your son or daughter and you say, that guy does it right. Do it the way he does it. But with each passing year, there seems to be more and more sort of iffy stuff that goes on with Tom Brady. I mean, the Tom Brady from 10 years ago would have probably turned in the Dolphins. And instead, he's miserable on the Patriots. I'm the most miserable 8-0 quarterback on the planet. And, he's talking about the future. I mean, I don't know. Something doesn't sit right with that. I don't really care about the penalties and how they compare to the Patriots over the years. I leave that for you guys. It's all drama. It's all nonsense to me. The Patriots were caught cheating twice. Whether you think that happened or not, doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. It's the NFL's rules. It's not a court of law in the United States. It's the NFL. They can make up whatever rules they want and give out any punishments they want. And so the Patriots were deemed to be guilty and got what they largely should have gotten, and the Dolphins got busted here and they got it. I mean, I think Stephen Ross, I think they should have come down harder on him. It's a joke. But it sort of is what it is at this point. And we're concentrating on the field. That's what we're worried about right now, not the stuff off the field. So that will do it today. For today, we will be out of practice tomorrow. Let's see if the offense gets any better. But make sure you check out athleticgreens.com/Bedard. Get on that deal. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.